This story is best served with warm blankets and cups of tea. It also pairs nicely with chocolate biscuits, popcorn, and maybe a glass of wine for the parents. Now, are you all sitting comfortably? Wonderful. Then I'll begin. Picture a home, maybe something smaller. How about a two-bedroom flat, tightly packed and stuck on a high-rise skyscraper, kind of like a bird cage where the people inside wish they could fly? Our story is about a girl. Her name is Ola. She's 10, but every time you say she's 10, she'll remind you that she's 10 and 3/4. Yesterday, she woke up to the sound of birds chirping and the shining South Croydon sun. She crawled out of bed and into the shower where she stood, waiting for Mum to shout, "Hurry up!" from across the corridor. Nowadays, when she brushes her teeth, she doesn't clean her tongue. She doesn't need to. She hasn't seen anyone other than her parent in the past 10 or 12 months. It's hard to tell these days. And they'll still love her no matter how bad her breath stank, even if she did nothing but chew on sardines and garlic like bubblegum. Breakfast is a bowl of plain Cheerios. Again. Which Ola ate with a face like this. She chewed on the crunchy cereal quietly in front of the TV screen, watching the morning news with Mum and Dad because they paid for it, so they have control of the remote. Ola used to hate watching it. The news never had any good news to speak of. Only wars, disease, sadness, and misery. Except for one day, a few years back, when there was a story about the oldest person in the world, a lady who lived to be 150. Oh, how badly Ola wanted to meet this woman, to sit down with her and just listen to all the many stories that she had gathered over her long, long lifetime. After the news came another episode of another show about publicly shaming poor people who cheat other poor people out of money. This was then followed by way too many programs about people buying or fixing up a house that the people watching could never afford. It always comes back to money, Ola thought out loud. She then covered her mouth, seeing Mum's head turn towards her. She thought she might have said it quiet enough that Mum wouldn't have heard. But Mum did. It's because money makes the world go round. Mum always had this speech prepared whenever Ola mentioned money. It is why we get up and why we sleep. It is why some people are born and many more die. You will never need to worry about it like we do. Not yet, eh? But that is why you need to work hard and study hard so you can get a good job that pays a lot. And then you can take care of us for once, eh? Now, back when Ola was 6, that speech would immediately send her running to the bookshelves, hoping that if Mum and Dad saw her reading, they would tell her how proud they were of her and that she would become a wise and wealthy adult one day. But recently, Ola has decided instead to spend her time staring at her parents, imagining a future where she is a filthy rich fashion designer, just so she can get to say, "Oh, what's that, Mum and Dad? You want to go to McDonald's? You got McDonald's money? No? Well, I can't treat you to one. Look at your bedroom. You haven't even cleaned it. But you can watch me eat a Happy Meal for you if you like." She wanted to say it in the exact same sarcastic tone that they used with her over the years. Now, I know what you're thinking. Some of you might be saying working for years and years just to get a big flashy office job for the sole purpose of teasing your parents is silly, immature, and not worth the effort. But if you tell Ola that, then she would just say, "Oh yeah, that's a good point, but here's what I have to say to that." Sometimes I wonder why she doesn't just become a lawyer instead. By about 5 o'clock, Ola realized they had been staring at the TV screen all day. Again. She got up and walked over to the fridge, hoping to find something interesting there. But it was the same ready meals, butter, milk and mayonnaise that she saw the day before, and the day before that too. So she closes the fridge door, disappointed, and returns to the sofa, barely watching the new chapters of EastEnders and Emmerdale before falling asleep on her father's lap. Ola dreamt that she was flying over hills and cities. Unlike most of her dreams, in this one she had complete control. She flew left, then right, up, then down, and arrived at her school, floating in the air just to show off what she could do to her friends. But the girls didn't notice her. She tried shouting out their names, but it was like none of them could hear her. She was just about to give up, and then she saw one of them turn around and boot a football straight for her head. Before it could hit Ola, she fell. When she hit the ground, she still kept falling. She tried to turn her head up to the sky to call for her mother, but no one came. She tried throwing out her hands to grab onto something to slow her down, but it was like trying to hold on to smoke. Eventually, she slowed down to a stop, floating in something wet. Not water, but ink. Black ink. She looked up to see a night sky with no stars except one. It suddenly flashed bright light in front of her. She wondered if she was watching the birth of the sun, but it was the gleam of a giant pen. A pen falling and crashing into the black sea of ink with the force of 1,000 tidal waves. It carried and washed her away, swirling, whirling, until she woke up, falling out of bed, her eyes opening just as her head landed on the carpet. Today, things feel different. Today, Ola's parents are having a lie-in. Walking past their bedroom door, she never noticed how weird their snores were and how much they tossed and turned in their sleep. So many creaking bed springs, she often wonders how they don't wake themselves up. But then she laughs to herself, remembering how she had just rolled herself out of bed. I guess we're all heavy sleepers here. Breakfast is another bowl of plain old Cheerios, but this time it's eaten with CBBC on the TV screen. But this time, Ola doesn't laugh at the jokes like she used to. The most she can manage is Eventually, after a few minutes, Mum and Dad join her and don't bother to change the channel. They seem to be in a good mood, but they don't know that their daughter has already outgrown TV shows about teenage witches and aardvarks called Arthur. 4 long hours pass, and not a single one of them laughs. Slowly, they all zone out. Hours turning to days, days turning to weeks. Time had just melted and become like soup. Ola begins to notice a hum. It's coming from the kitchen. She follows the sound, hum, and winds up in front of the fridge again. But this time, it feels different. humming louder and louder until she opens it. The same ready meals, butter, milk, and mayonnaise that she saw yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before. She slams the fridge door shut. I'm so sick of this place. London is pretty big. When you live on the 37th floor, you can see so much of the city from your window. And Ola has always spent so much time staring out, hoping to go on an adventure somewhere. She doesn't know where exactly. Anywhere will do. Even the local park. Anywhere beyond these four walls that feel more like a prison to her than home. Ola! Mum sounds angry. Whose house do you think this is? Slamming doors like you own the place. She marches up to Ola and stands over her, looking down with big brown eyes. There isn't much of a height difference between them, but whenever Mum is this mad, Ola always feels so much smaller, like a worm or a bug. I'm sorry, I just thought there was something like... She trails off, staring at the fridge. It's not humming anymore. Something what? Mum sees Ola staring at the fridge, so she grabs the handle and yanks the door open. It doesn't take her long to see the book inside. Ola? What is this? The Girl Who Fell Through the World, the book says. But its pages are empty. Completely blank. Is this another one of your experiments, eh? Like the time you put your clothes in the microwave because you thought that would dry them. You always bring that up, Mom. I said I was sorry about that. What more do you want me to say? What more can I say? Oh, you will say you're sorry, but I'm not the one putting books in the fridge now, am I, eh? Did you steal this from the library? They've been closed how many months now, Ola? Did you even think of the late fees? Enter Dad. Is everything okay? No! Look at what Ola's done. Mum waves the book in front of Dad like it's a winning lottery ticket. Oh. What has she done? This, she's put it in the fridge and... Oh, okay. And what else? Mum pauses. All this yelling only to realize she barely knew what it was that made her so angry. She turns to Ola. Ola, I need you to tell me what is the meaning of this. Well, Mum tries to sound like she already knows what it is. Books are for reading, I guess? Dad starts to laugh. Well, not that... kind of laugh. No. It was more like that kind of laugh. You know, that kind of laugh where you know that if you do laugh, and if you get caught, then you're going to get in trouble. But that only makes it funnier, doesn't it? He stops himself, seeing Mum looking at him angrier than before. He squeaks out a, sorry, before clearing his throat and leaving. Ola wonders if it's all over now. Mom? She asks. But Mum doesn't say anything. She just hands Ola the book without saying a word and walks out. Ola thought that there would be more peace and quiet in her room. Ola thought that everyone would be taking a moment to rest after what just happened. Ola thought that if she got nice and comfortable in bed and started writing and drawing in her brand new book, then she could fall asleep a little bit quicker and be one day closer to the end of her prison sentence. Ola was wrong. You can be so unhelpful sometimes. Whenever Mum tries to whisper, you can still hear her from the other side of the flat. I mean, it was pretty funny. And Dad never even tries to talk quietly. See, this is your problem. This is it. Okay? You always think everything is a joke. Oh, wow. You, of all people, are telling me that. You used to be the funny one. Remember that? You used to be the one playing pranks on me, putting confetti in my pockets and telling me to lighten up. What's wrong? What happened to you? What's happened to me? What's happened? I got tired. That's what's happened to me. Okay? I got tired. Tired of cleaning up after you and Ola. Tired of sitting on my backside watching the same old telly over and over. Tired of watching people die every day this year. I'm just so... I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm shouting at you like this. This isn't who I am. No. I'm sorry. I'm the one who's sorry. Really. I shouldn't have... God, I'm so sorry. Silence. The silence was sometimes the loudest part, in a weird way. The quiet that comes after the shout. It tugs and tickles and pulls at your ears, makes you listen close, even when you don't want to. And Ola would always hear it. The soft, whimpering sound of her mum crying into a pillow. Even the rain couldn't drown out that sound. Mum always knows exactly what to say whenever she finds Ola crying. Giving a kind word here, a wise life lesson there, or sometimes she just gives her a hug and listens, taking time to understand the story behind the tears. But Mum doesn't like seeing Ola see her like this. Mum will hide under the bed covers whenever Ola tries to help when Mum is crying, and all Dad can do is rub Mum's back and just tell Ola to give it a minute. Ola knows that if she doesn't start thinking about something else soon, she'll be up all night worrying. Is that the sound of a pencil scratching against paper I hear? Not a bad distraction, Ola. Not bad at all. She starts colouring in the corners of a page, wondering what to do with this big, empty book. The first thing that comes to mind is her favourite book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. She doesn't want to admit that it's her favourite book. She'll often tell you, it's for nursery babies, like she's scared or embarrassed that you'll laugh at her for liking it. She's probably read it more than 1,000 times. She likes how it's about growing up, about how we all one day just get a bit too big and then we become something else, someone else. And Ola has always loved that idea. To grow up, to become different, to float on the air, just going where her wings and the wind take her, without any parents telling her what to do. She draws and scribbles around, randomly. It doesn't take long before she starts to realize letters starting to appear one by one on the page. Soon, after a few minutes, there are whole sentences. It stops her for a moment because she knows she didn't write it. She reads, "You think you want adventure. You think you'd know what to do if you landed in a world where magic was real, where prayers mean something, and where the stories you love oh so much are worth more than their weight in gold. If you could be anyone in the world, who would you be? If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? You don't know, do you? OLA. But you will soon. Very, very soon." Her lips tremble, hands shaking. It knows my name. Is it magic? Is it cursed? She tries to calm herself down, taking in a deep breath, but it's all too much, and all she can do is let the first sound come out. "Mom!" Ola calls her at the top of her lungs. "Mom!" She jumps out of bed and runs across her bedroom floor, throwing open the door. "Mom!" She leaps out into the corridor, but she doesn't feel carpet when her foot touches the ground. All she feels is empty air. "Mom? Dad?" And in that moment, Ola fell.